honor and respects. This is Sancista Brujo Luis. Today I'm going to make some lucky green rice. And you see I have 3 bowls here because I want 3 different shades of green. What I'm using is long grain rice. You can use long grain rice or extra long grain rice for making the lucky green rice. I just think it looks more aesthetically more pleasing than the short grain rice. And what you're going to do is, well, this is the way I do it. You're going to get food coloring, okay? This is the brand that I'm going to use. And this got the regular colors. You can see it's got blue, red, yellow, green. I just want the green. And I want 3 different shades of green. Okay, I want it to go from light, medium, to dark green for this recipe of me making my lucky green rice. So I'm going to start with the light color first. This is what the tube looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop in 2 drops into this one. Actually 3 drops fell in. And then I'm just going to mix it in and get the color that I want. So this is what it looks like with 3 or 4 drops of the green dye. Now to this one I'm going to add 6 or 7. So I'm just going to take 1, 2, 3. Just want a little bit darker. Okay, so now I want you to see my first bowl and then my second bowl. And now I'm going to add 10 drops to my last bowl. You can keep mixing until you get the color that you want. Actually, I'm going to add more because I want this one to be nice and dark. And now I'm going to mix this up. I want to show you, here's the light shade green. And you can see it's got some white rice still. And then it's got a medium color. And then the dark color. Now you can make this the way you want. I just think it looks good when you've got different shades of green in the rice. You could add more food coloring to get all that white out from this rice right here. So I'm just going to keep adding until it's completely dark green, this one right here. It's pretty nice in color. Now I'm going to just let them sit to dry before I add the next part of the video or the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to let it sit down and dry. I'm going to probably add a little bit more color to this one. You just keep adding until you get the color that you want. So you want a light, a medium, and then a dark. That's just me personally. Or you could just do it this way. That would be fine as well. Okay, so this is the first part of the video. And here's my light. You see some white with some green. My medium colored rice. And then my dark colored rice. I'm going to let this sit overnight so it completely dries. And now after that, I'm going to add all my ingredients to make it the lucky green rice that we know for attracting, for using in your magical and your spiritual workings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this dry overnight. And tomorrow I will add the ingredients, all the ingredients that I use for making my Arroz Verde, my lucky green rice, Arroz Verde de la Suerte. I'm just going to let it dry overnight. Now, after I let it dry for a little bit, the rice, this is the one that I colored the least. I added color. I added some yellow to that one. I'm just going to add just a little bit. I don't want to ruin it too much, so I'm just going to add a little bit more yellow and mix it around because yellow is the color of joy and happiness. So I'm just going to probably just leave it like that. That looks pretty good. And I'm just going to let that dry out just to give it a little bit of a difference so that you have a green. And then you'll get that mixture of yellow, white, and then greens. All colors of abundance and prosperity. So now I'm just going to let this completely dry out. and then off to my next step. I'm going to let this dry out overnight. Now, as my rice is drying, the next part of the process that I do is I'm going to cut up $3 bills. Now, you don't have to do this part. I like to add money. I like to add currency. Money has its own energy. It's been used for spending, of course. So I like to cut it up. I like to cut it up long and then into small little shards, so that I'm just going to cut this up and just have everything prepared for tomorrow to, mix my green rice together. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm finished cutting up my $3 bills. Now, you don't have to use the $3 bills. I like to use it. When I say $3 bills, I mean 3 actual bills. I'm using American. You can use any money from any country that you're from. And I'm just going to just chop it up and show you what it looks like. So here's the $3 bills. The $3 bills. I chopped them up. So now I'm just going to, the rice is nice and dry. So now I'm just going to combine them and have them ready. So what I'm going to do, just mix them all in. Yeah. Just mix them all in. With my hand, give it a nice stirring. See the color? Looks pretty good. The final dark green. Give it a nice stirring. You see the nice color it gives it? Now you can add more food coloring if you choose. Yeah, just leave it right there. You can add more food coloring if you choose, but that's fine for me. I like it. And now I'm just going to add my $3 bills that I've chopped up. And I'm just going to mix it up. And place this in a place so you can see it real good. Okay, and you see it's got a nice color. Now I'm going to show you the dried goods that I add to my lucky green rice. You can see that the yellow adds a little different kinds of shades to it. I like it. Let me show it so it's not so blurry. Okay, now I'm going to add my herbs and my other ingredients and let you know how they work magically in this recipe. Now I'm going to wash this green candle in this water. Just give it a nice washing and use it for my ritual. I'll leave a link down below how I wash my candles, but I'm just going to wash this candle for my rice recipe. You don't have to do this. This is just me doing. I like to do it, but you don't have to. And I'm going to use this candle at the end of the video in my prayer part. Now for my recipe, the reason why I'm using long grain rice, I mean you can use short grain rice. I'm using long grain rice because long grain rice, it represents that your money will stretch out instead of short, the short grain rice. You want your money to, stretch out as much as possible. And rice in itself represents abundance, wealth, and good fortune. I'm also going to use mints. I'm going to use peppermint. And peppermint is good for money, prosperity, success, general luck. I'm going to use these. I don't know if I'm going to use all 3 of these, but there's silver glitter, gold glitter. I don't know if I'm going to use the green glitter. We'll see. Every time I do it very differently. I'm going to use You don't have to. I like to use 3, 7, or 21 copper pennies. They have to be from 1982 down because they used to be made with 95% copper. So copper is good, is a good conductor. It's a really good conductor of energy, and it attracts everything that you want into your work. I'm going to use cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for success, luck, prosperity, to draw money. Pachulí. Pachulí is also good for money and prosperity. Cloves. Cloves is to attract money and riches. Everything I'm using here is pretty much to attract. I think I'm going to use a nutmeg, again, also to attract prosperity, bring luck, good fortune. And I'm going to use star anise to bring luck and prosperity. I don't think I brought my John the Conqueror root out here. Let me see, where is it? So here's my rice the next day. Like I said, there's two different types of rice. There's long grain rice and there's short grain rice. I like the long grain rice because the long grain rice represents that your abundance and your luck and everything that you're going to attract is going to be for longer periods instead of the shorter cut, rice. You can use short grain rice, but I'm just going to use the long grain. That's what I just like to use the most. The next thing I'm going to use is mince. And I have peppermint here. And peppermint is good for money, prosperity, success. Everything that I have here is pretty much to attract money. What else do I have here? I have my gold, silver. I don't know if I'm going to use all three of these. But my glitter, mi oro y plata. I don't know if I'm going to use the green one, but I'm definitely going to use the silver and the gold powder. I'm going to use copper coins. You can use 3, 7, or 21. They have to be from 1982 down. Anything 1983 onwards, they didn't use copper anymore. So from 1980, I think it was 1982, they had 95% copper. And copper is a great spiritual conductor per excellence. And it attracts prosperity into your work. I'm going to use cinnamon. And cinnamon is also good for success, luck, prosperity, to draw money. I'm going to use patchouli. Patchouli is to draw money, prosperity. I'm going to use cloves right here. Cloves is to attract money. What else? I got nutmeg. Nutmeg also to attract money, prosperity, bring luck, fortune. Okay, what else? Oh, and star anise. Star anise, another one to bring luck. And the last, I'm going to use a small piece of Juan el Conquistador, John the Conqueror root. So I'm going to use a smaller piece of John the Conqueror root. And I'm going to use a magnet. Now, you don't have to use a magnet. You can use lodestone, Piedra de Imán. But I'm going to say that for a future video. So I'm going to use just a magnet. I'm just going to use just one magnet, just so it attracts what I want into my spiritual work. And then I'm going to, for oils, I'm going to use, what oils am I using? For my oils, I'm using sandalwood. Sandalwood for increasing opportunities, bringing success, and jasmine oil for money. Okay, so you don't have to use everything that I have here. I'm just going to use it. I'm going to use small amounts. So what I'm going to use is 1 small star anise, probably 3 cloves, one small piece of cinnamon. You don't want too much. A small piece of John the Conqueror. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. A little bit of Pachulí. You don't want too much, okay? You just want a little bit to add into your money rice, okay? And you're gonna, and a piece of nutmeg. I'm gonna put all this into the mortar and pestle and show you that I'm gonna crush it up and then place it into my rice. So I'm gonna add 3 slices or pieces of star anise, 1 John the Conqueror, 1, 7 cloves, 7 clavos, and 1 cinnamon stick. What else am I forgetting? And I'm gonna add Pachulí. I'm gonna add some Pachulí stick. Let me see. This is my Pachulí. So I'm just gonna add 3 sticks of Pachulí. And there's my Pachulí. Now I'm gonna powder all this down and I'm gonna place it into my money rice. Now since my spearmint's already powdered, I'm just gonna sprinkle my spearmint in. Okay, you don't need a lot. I'm gonna put a few drops or a few handfuls. Now I forgot to powder my nutmeg, which I will powder at the end. I always forget something. But here is all my powdered goods. I'm just gonna fix this all up. So I'm just gonna pour all this into this. Okay. This is my Pachulí, my cloves. Now I'm gonna add my silver, my oils, my coins, my magnet. I'm gonna do all this and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I gotta powder down a nutmeg and also add it in here because I forgot that. But now I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's done. Show you as I add my oro y plata into the mixture. Now it's starting to look like money rice. Now I'm gonna add my oils, my coins, my magnet, and I'm done. Now this is what it looks like after I place everything into it. Let me make sure you get it. Okay, now I'm gonna add, got the silver in it. I'm gonna add 21 copper coins into my rice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, and my magnet. Or you could put your lodestone, mix it all up. Some people put nickels, some people put quarters. Okay. And now it's ready to place into a jar, place on the altar, which I will do, and give it a prayer to the Santito to bless it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when, and it's got all the oils. It smells real good. You can see I got all the silver everywhere. The silver and gold dust. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to jar it up. Before I jar it up, I just want to show you what it looks like. With all the nice colors. The nice shades of green, yellow. We got the gold, the silver. I'm going to get some good lighting, hopefully. You can see it the way it, I see it. Looks really good, smells really good, and it's ready to jar. So I got to make 2 full jars. Look at how nice it looks inside the jar. Excuse the snowman jar. It's the only one that I could find as I was making this. But I got to make 2 full jars of the money rice. Now I'm going to place it with the green candle on the altar. I'm going to place probably some yellow or gold candles. You can put gold candles, silver candles. You can use a green candle. I'm going to bless this under Juan Dinero, Mr. Money, and the angel Abundancia or Abunda. But excuse the snowman bottle. Actually looks pretty. I should save this for Christmas and give this to someone during Christmas. I've actually found this in my cupboard, and so this is what it looks like. This is my arroz, my arroz verde de la abundancia, my money drawing rice. I'm going to put it on the altar to Juan Dinero, Mr. Money, to Abundancia, the angel Abundancia, Abunda. I'll leave the prayers down below if you want them. I'm not gonna, show you that process. But if you like this video, please like. Oh, this is good for, putting it in reguardos. I like to when I'm doing reguardos for money for clients, I like to place this with other ingredients into the reguardos. Reguardos are mojo bags, gli bags. That's what we call them, reguardos, or empaques. That's what we call them in Spanish. So I like to add some of this into it with lodestones, with other ingredients. Lodestones will probably be a future video that I'm going to talk about. But for anything to attract money, for a job, if you want a job, that job is going to pay well, and you want that, a client wants that, then I make them un reguardito. I sprinkle this on, what do you call those, applications? When you're applying for a job. Look how nice it looks in the video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. Please leave a comment down below. Everyone has their way of making their green rice. This is the way I make it. It looks nice. It looks appealing. And leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Sancista Brujo Luis. Santo Sanse. I'll leave the prayers down below. I'm going to leave the description of how I made this and the ingredients for my Spanish-speaking people down below, but the prayers will be in English and in Spanish, but the ingredients and everything else will be in Spanish for my Spanish-speaking people. Para mi gente que hablan español, todos los ingredientes está en la description con la oración para Juan Dinero y Abundancia. Y todos los ingredientes, cómo se hace el arroz verde de la abundancia, de plata y de oro. Espero que le gusten. Este es Sancista Brujo Luis, Santo Sanse.